What's up, mobile home park investors? Mike here. This module is entitled Why Mobile Home Parks, and it is designed to make you an absolute authority on why MHPs are an incredible investment opportunity. This is an important module because it will help you understand why it was such a good decision for you to choose this asset type, and it will give you the confidence to educate and convince others, whether that be banks, investors, or even your spouse, to buy into your investment thesis, both emotionally and financially. I hope this module will resell you on why you chose mobile home parks in the first place and get you amped to get started on this investment journey. As I previously stated, the first video of every module will be a vocabulary video. And I'm going to hit you with some of the vocabulary that you'll be seeing throughout this entire module so that it won't come as a surprise when you encounter it. First on the list is one that we've been referencing a lot already, which is the expense ratio. We brought this up previously to highlight that a lower expense ratio is typically correlated with higher efficiency in running your park, and that we are here to help you achieve a lower expense ratio by teaching you the best operational practices. The expense ratio refers to the percentage of a park's gross income that is spent on operating expenses. This ratio is crucial for investors and operators to understand, as it helps evaluate the efficiency of the property's management and the potential profitability. You calculate the expense ratio by dividing your total operating expenses by your total gross income. For mobile home parks, the expense ratio typically ranges from 30 to 40%, though this can vary pretty widely depending on several factors, including the level of amenities provided, the efficiency of management, and the age and condition of the park that you are currently managing. Understanding the expense ratio helps investors and managers gauge the financial health of a mobile home park, compare it against industry benchmarks, and identify opportunities for improving profitability by managing expenses more effectively. Achieving a low expense ratio will in turn give you a higher profit margin, which we will discuss in greater detail in the finance portion of this course. For now, just know that you want a higher profit margin and a lower expense ratio, and that these are inverses of one another. Next up is pad, site, or lot. Many of you already know this one, but for those of you who don't, we will explain. In a mobile home park, the terms pad, site, and lot all refer to the designated space within the park where a mobile home can be placed or installed. These terms are often used interchangeably and describe the specific area leased by a tenant to accommodate their mobile home. The pad, site, or lot has clearly defined boundaries within the mobile home park. Its size can vary, but it will be large enough to fit at least one single mobile home, along with some additional spaces for things like a small yard, parking, and possibly a storage shed. These spaces are equipped with the necessary utility hookups, including electricity, water, sewer, and sometimes natural gas, allowing the mobile homeowner to easily connect to all these essential services. Besides utilities, sites might also have gravel bases or concrete bases to place the home, ensuring a stable and level surface. This setup might include tie downs or other anchoring systems to secure the mobile home. Tenants will lease these spaces from us and pay what is called site rent, again used interchangeably with pad rent or lot rent. Site rent is the monthly rent paid to us by the tenant for the space itself. If the tenant owns the mobile home, this is the only rent they pay to us. However, if they rent the home from us as well, they pay an additional rent called home rent. This brings up an important distinction between tenant-owned homes and park-owned homes. Let's start with tenant-owned homes. In this case, the tenant owns their mobile home. They lease the lot or the space within our mobile home park and pay us monthly site rent to have their home on our land. Tenants are responsible for the maintenance, taxes, and insurance of their mobile home and anything attached to the home itself. Think about it like renting a parking spot for your car. We as park owners own the parking lot and rent the spaces to our tenants. We aren't responsible for the cars themselves, but we are responsible for maintaining the parking lot. The car owner or the tenant will take that car to the mechanic and make sure everything's in working order, so the maintenance will not fall on us. Said simply, if something breaks in or on the house, it falls on the homeowner to take care of it, not us. If it's not a tenant-owned home, it's a park-owned home. A park-owned home is owned by the park, or in this case, us. We as park owners rent these homes to tenants similar to an apartment building. In this arrangement, the tenant does not own the mobile home. They are just renting it along with the site that it occupies. Think about park-owned homes like a flat apartment building, but instead of apartment units, we have mobile homes. Like an apartment landlord, we are responsible for the maintenance, taxes, and insurance of the homes on this land. For this reason, we charge an additional home rent on top of the site rent that our tenant-owned homes pay. Next up, we have zoning and entitlements. Zoning and entitlements are crucial in the field of real estate development. playing significant roles in determining how land can be used and what developments can be undertaken on a given parcel of land. Zoning is typically controlled by local city or county governments and aims to organize urban spaces in a way that optimizes land use while minimizing conflicts like placing a factory next to a residential area. Entitlements are legal methods by which developers obtain approvals to develop properties for specific uses. This process can be quite complex and usually involves various permits and approvals from governmental bodies. Obtaining entitlements is a key step in the development process because it legally clears the way for the development to proceed according to the specific plans and conditions laid out in the site plan. This phase can often be very time-consuming and costly, but it is essential for ensuring that development meets local regulations and standards. Next up is Metropolitan Statistical Area, or MSA for short. An MSA is a geographical area based on a county or a group of counties. These counties must have at least one urbanized area that has a population of 50,000 people or more. The neighboring counties typically have economic ties to this one urbanized area. To give you an example, the city of New York, also known as the Newark, Jersey City Metropolitan Statistical Area, is the largest metropolitan area in the United States. It includes 27 counties across 4 states: New York, New Jersey, Pennsylvania, and Connecticut. This MSA has an estimated population of more than 20.3 million people. We would call this a primary market. Chicago, Los Angeles, Dallas, and Miami would also fall into this category. Primary markets are those with more than 5 million residents. Secondary markets are those with 1 to 5 million residents, and tertiary markets are those with 1 million or fewer residents. Generally speaking, as you enter larger MSAs, it becomes more and more difficult to acquire or develop real estate. This is because prices are higher and there are more regulatory hurdles to jump through. We will discuss this in more detail in upcoming videos. Next up, we have Offering Memorandum, or OM. In the context of a real estate sale, an offering memorandum serves as a comprehensive document that provides information about a property being offered for sale. The offering memorandum is a key marketing tool in real estate transactions, especially for commercial properties, as it provides a deep dive into the potential investment, allowing buyers to make well-informed decisions about whether they want to proceed with an offer on that specific property. We'll be looking at many OMs as we funnel deals through our pipeline, and this is typically where we'll get the initial information to either eliminate or pursue a deal further. Next up, we have loan to value, or LTV for short. This is one of the many financial ratios that lenders use to assess the risk of lending money for a property purchase. It is calculated by dividing the total loan amount by the property's appraised value or purchase price, whichever is lower. The result is expressed as a percentage. Here's how it works. If a buyer wants to purchase a property priced at $100,000 and needs a loan of $80,000 to complete the purchase, the LTV would be calculated as follows: $80,000 divided by $100,000 times 100. That equals 80% LTV. This is an important metric in real estate for not just the lender, but also you, because it will tell you how much equity you need to put into the deal to either fund yourself or raise from potential investors. Next, we have syndication. In this context of real estate, syndication refers to the process of pooling capital from multiple investors to purchase and manage a property that typically would be too expensive for an individual investor to do alone. This approach allows investors to participate in real estate deals and potentially earn returns from income-producing properties like mobile home parks, apartment complexes, office buildings, or even shopping centers, which they may not have been able to access individually. Next up, we have seller financing, or seller carry. You may hear us reference this as holding the note or holding paper throughout this course. Seller financing is a financial arrangement in real estate transactions where the seller extends credit to the buyer to cover part of the purchase price. What do we mean when we say the seller extends credit? Well, the same way a credit card company extends you a month-long loan to buy goods and services on your credit card, in the case of commercial real estate, the seller is extending us a loan to buy their commercial real estate property. Seller carry is an alternative to traditional bank financing, and it can be particularly advantageous in situations where the existing books and records are not in good order and won't be accepted by a bank. As a seller, it can also be tax advantageous for you because you don't have to recognize the gain from the sale of that property in a single year. Seller financing can also incentivize buyers to look at your property because you can offer a lower interest rate than that of a bank. Overall, seller financing can also make the deal much more flexible, as there are typically less stringent terms than you would get from a traditional financing route. That was a lot of terminology. It's super important that we cover all of this ahead of time so that you're familiar with this vocab when you actually see it in the lessons. To further assist you guys in referencing these terms, of course, we've included all of them in the glossary linked below, and you can always reference this throughout the course material. If you haven't done so already, take a second to click the link below and bookmark this glossary so that when you're looking at these other videos, you can quickly grab that bookmark and reference these terms on the go. As mentioned previously, after this lesson, there will be a quiz to check your knowledge so far and drive home some of this vocabulary. Don't worry about getting everything right. Just make sure you do the quiz, and if you do get something wrong, you understand why. After the quiz, we'll dive into the content of this module, but until then, keep learning, keep growing, and I'll see you soon.